Hola, buenos dias. It's been a tremendous couple of days right now. The truth is rising faster and faster. It's hard to believe what's going on right now because you have to understand everything through intelligence is extremely high rise. And basically, it's all about governments. It's all about sanctions. It's all about governments controlling everything, right? And you guys are like puppets on a string. That's all you are. They don't care about your self-aware. They don't care about your self-being. They don't care about your health. All they care about is making controlling of everything through connections when it comes into money, power, or anything to that level. Now, you have to understand what's going on with the governments, the corporations, the media. Before I get started, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel so you keep informed with everything that's happening right now. I put on this earth to put everybody into readjustments, reframing, everything back into healing, okay? Healing the wound. It's kind of like you have a scratch, you let it heal, you put a Band-Aid on it, right? It heals, right? So basically, it's mending the wounds that's right going on right now with everybody because everything through platforms are coming to light, everything through the all status quos of everything through the amendments, justice will prevail over anything when it comes into foreign or domestic. It's important that you guys understand everything that's happening right now. I sent you guys a video on my private link, and we were talking about George Carlin, how he was trying to say that everybody has been programmed. And it's hard to believe these things because it all comes from intelligence, right? It all comes from space, right? So, and it's really sad because, it all starts with the genocide. It's a chemical. It's a spray. It's a vibration, and it's extremely powerful how we come into these times right now, and more surfaces of truth, the more we come into the light. So it's all about your minds have been altered, your alter egos of your consciousness, okay, has been compromised from the very, very beginning. And I also sent you a video too. It's very important that, especially for the new viewers, try to understand what's going on, try to keep up what's going on, especially with my galactic school. You go through my healing more than ever because everybody's going to go more into fear, right? Because they can't believe their eyes, okay? And everything through their ears are opening up more and more, and everything through their voicings. We're now fighting back. Freedom of speech, freedom of amendments, freedom of everything through connection, especially with the countries, and everything that's going on with the COVID-19, falsifications and all that. So it is coming down more and more each day. And the thing is, like I said, justice will prevail. Okay, you can't do harm to the earth, and everything through its connection that comes into the intelligence. They've been doing this for an extremely long time. Back in the 40s, where governments were under accessions of space programs, classified programs, and stuff like that. How they set up operations and how they build structures of UFOs. But remember, it's not the humans that are doing this, it's the intelligence that's in the human. You have to understand how powerful entity force systems are and how they can control the conscious levels of your alter egos. And that's how everything is compromised from the beginning. Okay? You're puppets on a string. Okay? And they move you wherever they want. Okay? They put you in positions. Right? Let's start off with Hollywood. Everybody's blown away. It's hard to believe these things, right? But the more truth comes to the light, the more we have hope. Hope is everything. With Superman, the S means hope, right? So it's all about you understanding your framing systems from the very beginning. Not only has been compromised through its alter ego, but your consciousness has been taken over through its intelligence, okay? Which is the 1%. Now, everybody wants to know what the 1% is. Well, this goes way, way back to levels of satanic or anything to that connection system. With light, there's dark. We have already been through that. But everything in the atmosphere is totally destroyed. And this is what happens when you do these things through calculation, right? Everything through illustration is coming to its surface now. And the earth is finally healing. Okay? So imagine that you have so many levels, okay, of stubbornness, egotistical, or anything hysteria, or anything that level, anything through criminal, okay, anything through that level on earth. Remember, the earth is a feeding source. And whatever you put out in the atmosphere, it connects to your vibration, right? So knowing that your puppet's on a string, okay, puts everything in perspective. How they be controlling you from its earth. Because remember, there's a mind wiping machine, but that's all taken down. So not only the light interferences come into the light, but everything through light workers, the facilitators, and everything through military operation is coming clear. The clarity division is coming clear. And your alter egos have been separated for so long through connection. Okay, so they mind wipe your systems. Okay, you have to understand how powerful intelligence are, right? Because you know how powerful I am, right? Through space. So just imagine what they do, what they can do through manipulation. And it's all done through the alter ego of its state and everything through its consciousness. Okay? You just have to understand how to communicate with the universal systems of planets to anything to that position. Okay? So there's a lot more that's happening, and it's going to keep surfacing to the light. You know, it's important that everybody gets a true understanding to get back into healing. Now's the time to everybody all about, you know, licking the wounds of sovereignty. Everything that's going inside your soul, knowing you have your soul, but your soul has been manipulated. Okay? And this is all done through intelligence. Okay? So knowing the body frame, knowing the electrical system, knowing anything through calculation, integration, modification. Remember, you take it out of this equation. So you can do that through the alter mind systems. Even back in the 40s and all that. You know, they're saying, okay, well, basically, you're going to go away for 20 years and we're going to use your conscious levels. I said, what are you talking about? Well, we're going to manipulate your mind, right? And you're not going to remember a thing. Okay, so it's like amnesia, like it never happened, right? But you're not that same person. You're controlled through their system. Remember, it's intelligence that's controlling you, not the physical system. Okay, the physical system is just, it's a separation to your soul. So basically, they want all humanity separated. They don't want you to know the conscious levels and what they're doing through space programs or anything through governments or anything through corporations, how they're controlling you on a string. They know what they're doing, and they're going to keep doing that. Okay, I recommend you watch George Carlin, where he talks about that. I'll send the link below. It's really powerful how we come into this, you know, knowing that the controlling systems of everything through governments, and this goes way, way back, you know. I mean, so far back, it's unbelievable, you know. And like I said, the truth will set you free through the light. Light has to come in, okay? But there's a reason why it's not just the awakening of humanity, it's the awakening, okay, of the governments, corporations, and the media, how they can't do this, right? So knowing how to do these things, you have to do it through intelligence. You have to do it through the mind. You have to do it through their conscious levels, because they have everything set up from its beginning, okay? They were trying so hard in the 40s, okay, to understand manufacturers of UFOs, how to set them off, how to restructure divisions, how to use laser recognition systems, how to use biochemical weapons and stuff like that. So just imagine what they have now through calculation. But I'm destroying everything through connection. And the center point division of everything is Area 51. Right? So they kept it top secret. Okay, it's classified, right? But now it's opening, right? You can get it on Gaia to tell you exactly on the space program, right? We're there was a program set up for flyings of UFOs where they identified different types of acceleration, how they were coming into more calculations, and how they can actually take a person, okay, in a spacecraft, right? There's no gadgets or anything that. It's okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to say, basically, see yourself flying, right, in the spaceship. I say, how is that possible? There's no gadgets. There's no controlling system. Okay, there's no navigation. How am I going to do this? Right? He said, well, do it through the mind. Imagine that the spaceship is flying, right? So he altitude levels and he went up to 500 feet, right? And then he didn't know what to do next. And then he crashed, right? At least he lived, but he lived to tell the story. So everything is surfacing right now through documentation, anything through docils, anything through program settings. But now's the time for everybody to be healed, okay? And that's why you have to understand that if intelligence can manipulate the mind system, it also can heal the system, okay? And again, that's why I'm put in this position to heal everybody, you know, through its corruption and anything, through its fear cycle, put you guys back into your alter egos, back into its balance, okay? Because everybody on earth have been compromised. It's hard to believe these things. It really is, you know, especially when you go on the anything through the medias. More people are going to be arrested. You know, it's just, these are the things you can't do anymore. And the earth knows that. And they said, enough is enough. We can no longer do this. Humanity has to come into peace. They have to come into balance. They have to come into themselves. Okay, when is it when anybody has ever had freedom of speech? And especially when you're in Hollywood, if you say anything regarding to anything, when it comes into the Illuminati or the elites, they put you down. Okay? So I think the truth is not just ugly, but when it surfaces more and more, it heals more and more. But to get back into your altered states, you have to be healed. So it's about repositioning, reframing, and recalculating and recalibrating the mind system. So I can help you out with that through its healing. I've healed a lot of people in the past, and they feel fantastic. They're starting to realize what's going on with them. They realize they've been compromised. Compromise means that everything through, it's kind of like missing in action, MIA, right? Or AWOL, or something that is missing. Something doesn't feel right. I'm not moving forward. How come I'm not moving forward? Well, it's because you've been controlled through the consciousness of its earth, above its earth, okay? Because there's alienation formations of planet location positions. Now, the government's in that when it comes into all levels, how they were coming into space programs and how they want to set things on the moon. They want to actually have a base. So it's all about not just the elite, it's the 1% trying to control, okay, it's top of its system because it's its pyramid, right? Right? So it comes in with the Thadians, Thespians. It comes in with the all connections of interforce relations to all entity force systems. With Alex Collier, now there was like 22 types, okay, of aliens, and how he was talking about everything through communication. Okay, so when you're giving things back to you, it puts you in a better position of the lies, manipulation, the corruption. And now everything has been planned from its beginning. Okay? So that puts you in a better way of not just thinking, but knowing through its intelligence. When you're healed, okay, you go back into position of center, and it opens up all your framing systems through the hydraulics, okay? And it just clean slates everything, puts you back in your program settings of who you're supposed to be through your soul identification. And it takes anything through its program system of its intelligence that's been programming you for so long. And it's hard to reside on these things, especially when it comes to Hollywood. Okay, it's a fabrication, coming into cloning, coming into the regenerations and everything through its connection, coming into doubles and coming into, a lot of facing things, how basically they've been controlling everything. And that's why things have to be set. That's why things have to change. And that spiritual awakening is just the beginning. Okay, so the more we see the light, right, the more we can see everything that's going on, right? Because it's very powerful when your consciousness is taken away. Okay, it's like somebody just took your heart, okay, and they put in another heart for you. So it's kind of like they're controlling you through their heart, right? And their heart has their own program setting, and they put you in positions of wherever you're supposed to be, right? You're going to be set here, you're going to be set here, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, right? And you're going to obey. Okay, it's the same thing with They Live, that movie, Roddy Piper. Okay, everything that is given to you, okay, is for you to understand the truth of what's happening. But really, nobody pays attention to these things, knowing that everything that's going on right now is nothing but a distraction because they have a plan. Okay, first it was a space operations of programs, right? Trying to manufacture everything through different levels of spacecraft divisions they can set up, right? Setting up a base on the moon. So they can control the moon and its orbit in the program setting, right? So they can dim the sun, right? So we can get it into the cold age, right? And take over everything, okay? So that's just mind and manipulation of the earth, when you say. I would think so anyway. So it's hard to reside on these things, especially now that it's happening, through the medias and all that. I mean, thing is, who do we trust now? Who do we go to? Well, you have to be healed first. When you're healed, you get more strength, you get more power. And when you're back in position, okay, you see everything that's going on to all directions, all right, all plateaus, and why these things are happening, okay? That's the most powerful thing, is why am I programmed my whole life, okay? Now, if you see people that are high rise and they're doing successful, well, they're in a position already because they're in their connections, their own program settings, and they're at their higher formation of intelligence. Everybody on this earth is intelligence, okay, depending where you are through types and anything, prediction, plan, location, positions. Now you're understanding how powerful space is and how it's been being controlled, right, through its 1%. Okay, but everything is being taken down now through calculation. You just have to understand the codes, right, to the mind systems, right? Because anything can be override. Anything can be override. It's knowing how to do these things, right? I know you guys probably don't want to hear this, but that's exactly what it is. Okay, consciousness can be manipulated. Okay, and it can be very, very controlling, and you won't even know it. Okay, and that's where the doubles come in. That's where the clones come in. And I mean, I just couldn't believe what was going on. Especially with George Carlin, right? He's passed away, right? So it's like a dream that you just, every time you wake up, you're not waking up. What are you waking up to? They're saying, okay, why am I in this position? How do I get out of this position? How do I evolve myself to a better world? So you got to basically understand how to create your own reality and make yourself feel a lot better with yourself, and go into your own journeys and your own missions, follow up on all that, right? So coming into the Galactic School will put you in a better position on what's going on with the 1%, the elites, or anything from the Illuminati. And it all starts with Scientology. Okay, Ron L. Hubbard. Okay, it was using mind-wiping machines for humans, right? They used those back in the war days. And again, everything is connected to the wars. Okay, the Nazis and all that connection. And all these things that you see, I mean, what is true? How do I verify this is true? Well, you have to be healed. When you're healed and you go up to higher levels of programs, then you start doubting yourself. There's no more hesitation, and the truth just keeps rising and rising and rising. You ask any light facilitator, okay, that channels anything through operation, they'll tell you the truth. And that's what is so ugly about it, because it's now surfacing more and more. Okay, because we basically want to cleanse the earth. We want to cleanse the virus and bring humanity back into who they are from the very beginning. All done through manipulation of the consciousness. Okay? It's a controlling fact. It factors all your levels through your pixels and your atoms and all that. Everything that I know, okay, when I created humans, they know. Do you understand? That's why they're so powerful. It's the intelligence that's inside them that is controlling humanity through their strings. Okay? It's not the physical DNA. It's the intelligence of its DNA. Okay? And that's why it's so powerful, because they understand the controlling system of the earth. They understand the controlling system of the planet's intelligence. They understand the operations centers. They understand spaceships. They understand their conscious mind. They know how to manifest. They know how to change, redirect, relocate, interlock, interchange, intercept, calculate, modify, integrate, take things out of the equation. All right? So, and they all have to be erased. And I'm the only one that can do it. So, you know, when you're put in positions, you try to live your life the best you know how. But once you understand, there's always somebody above you. You have a boss. There's a boss that's a boss of a boss, right? So that person is controlling that boss, and that boss controlling that boss, which is controlling you. You're all being controlled. So if you keep going up to high-rise divisions to a certain level where prohibitive or anything, they try to put you back down, right? And they'll do everything they can because they don't want you in a high position, right? Only the 1% and the elite stay in that position, right? But now it's destroyed through its atmospheric systems, and everything is coming down through calculation. Okay? So I know it's a shockwave. It's an extremely shockwave for everybody to wake up to these things. Okay? But you truly have to understand, you know, I'll draw you out an illustration, okay, on everything through their planning system and how they're in position to everything. So it's all about manufacturing everything through vision, okay, especially when it comes into UFOs, right? That's why everything's a hush-hush with the military operations, right? It's all classified, right? So basically, you know, you get this and you get that, and everything that they're doing is a distraction, okay? But everything that's connected to the space programs, they don't want you to know, okay? They know you're not smart enough to know these things. They got high-tech weaponry. They got high-tech computers. I know all this because I'm intelligent. But I'm not just intelligent. I'm intelligence of all intelligence, which changes everything. It changes the game. Okay, so they can't control humanity anymore because I am the controller of the game now. I've come back, right, of who I am. So I'm repositioning everybody to calculation to the Jupiter rising locations of the simulation. Okay, center point positions bring you back into your calculations, your mind systems, everything through mind corruption systems, anything through that division, how humanity has to come back into balance. Okay, so it's all about coming into the heel of yourself within, coming into the soul identification. Okay, and you know, it's interesting because I was thinking that when I was in this position, because I'm an actor, right? And I always thought of Hollywood as, you know, the cat's meow. I say, okay, great. But I was always living in a plastic bubble. And I was thinking, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. I want to be an actor, I want to be famous and all that. I said, then I realized why I didn't become that, right? Because at the time I wasn't awake, but I was a little bit aware, okay, of what was going on, how this was being controlled, but I couldn't figure it out. So I wasn't allowed to go into those levels. See, the universe tells you where you're going to be, and that's the intelligence when it comes into your higher self, right? So I'm getting all these voices, but I just brushed it off for so many years, and I was just trying to, it doesn't make any sense because I keep meditating. And then things start realizing more and more what's happening with yourself. You've been corrupted. You've been mind manipulated. Your ego has been taken over. It's been compromised, right? Through the controlling system of 1% this whole time. So when I was saying to myself, when I was in Hollywood, right? If I go there, I say, hey, that'd be great. I'm working, I'm an actor and stuff like that. And I realized that, hold on a sec. All of a sudden, you wake up and you realize, I'm glad I wasn't in that position, because they would have controlled my system, my sovereignty, and everything through its pride. Okay? Because I wouldn't have had the control, right? And they would use me as puppets on a string. Okay? So it just goes to show you why you're not put in this position for a reason. Okay? And I'm glad, because, it's saying, no, you're not going to go there. So it's kind of like your inner self is telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. The problem with humanity is they've been ignoring their inner system, which is the higher self. And that is a problem for everybody. And it's also a problem for the earth. So the earth is reshifting, okay, recalibrating, reframing, readjusting everybody back, right, to one source, one unity, one consciousness of themselves. Then bring back the peace of themselves within, right? The love that they have, and the love they can give without, right? So I'll tell you, right now everybody's silent, and silent is very controlling, especially when it comes to anything through platforms that are put up every day, right? So as we come into those levels of, let's say we got the, okay, so you got the pyramid, right? You got the pyramid. Now you got the 1%. Okay. So it volumes in so many sector unit levels, okay, of provision. Okay. Now it all calculates modify through the 1%. Okay. So it's all about them staying at the top all the time, right? The controlling governments. So they control the governments and the corporations, okay, the media, and the enforcing. Okay. So they plateau their divisions to everything through sector core unit divisions. They place them into all calculations. And this is where they start controlling the mind systems to everything through the governments, corporations, media. Who's going to be this? Who's going to be that? You're placed here. You're placed there. This is what you're going to do. This is your job. Everything is scripted. And that's why it's so hard for everybody to believe, because it's you were living in their simulation through strings. Okay. So the 1% has been taking over everything through calculation, right? The governments, corporations, media, and everything through its enforcements. So knowing what the pyramid is, it's all destroyed through mechanisms, right? I did that through the atmospheric locations. So when things come to the light, it just destroys everything in its connection. Okay. So the population circuit systems right now is coming into the simulation of 0.01 of tractions, okay, which is repositioning everybody into the right location, into the right body division, right? Getting out of the manipulation, getting out of the conscious levels of the intelligence of its 1% or anything through its elite, okay? So there's been a lot more arrests because of that. Okay, remember, if you defy God, and we already know what God is, you define yourself. So it's kind of like you're defying everything in the galactic of its operation, which is on defense or any security line measures or anything that connection, right? So putting you in that position, what does that do for you? Think about it. If you're in that position, do you want to be controlled through the system? Or do you want to know how to get out of the system through its consciousness? And the 1% have been doing that for eons. Okay. But it's not just the Earth. They've been doing it on other planets. We'll get into that later. But what I'm saying is that all it is control, power, greed, and money. That's all it is. They want to control everything. Okay. So the Great Awakening, okay, is its ascension, right? For everybody to wake up in its position, knowing you've been controlled through its altered states of your mind system. Okay. So, but everything is cradled and falled right now through its division. All right. So this is more of a personal message for everybody. You really have to get in depth of who you are, and the only way to do that is within. Okay. And humanity is getting into a better positions of what's happening, and it's truth. It's ugly, but when you get to these levels, coming from George Carlin or any actor, this will help you understand why they're doing these things. Okay, because it goes all the way back. If you trace it, okay, all the way back to World War I and II, then you understand your positions and why, okay, the slavery is there, why the controlling system of the mind is there, why they've been taking over your program settings. It's hard to believe these things. Think about it. It's hard to believe. Okay. So you can manipulate light just as much you can manipulate dark. They can reset programs to anything through calculation. You just have to know the codes of humanity. Everybody's in a different position through its code frequency, right? Because everybody is connected to their blueprints and contracts. Okay. So it's complicated, it's complex, but now's the time for you guys to get into your own self, the identity of self, the evolvement of self, the truth of self, the inner of self, which will set you free, right? So knowing that this is happening right now, humanity has to come back together. Because everything that's all jolted right now, it's a shockwave to everybody through calculation. And they're not sure what to do now. They can't trust their governments. They can't trust anything right now. Okay. They can't trust their corporations. They probably can't even trust their friends. Because you're in a higher vibration. Every time you go through healing, you go through a higher vibration. Okay. So it's setting people free from the manipulation of its 1% and its elite. Okay. So the program settings are all set up. Okay, everybody wants to be healed. I'll put you in out of its positions and put you back into wire locations, and I'll uprise all your levels that you need through your containments, your wires, your electricals, your body frames, your electrical frames, anything through calculation. Because living the dark locations or anything negative system is truly understand everything through the controlling system. Well, wait a minute, I've been controlled all this time? How is that possible? How is that possible? Well, anything's possible through consciousness. You just have to read the information. We got archetype coming in, really powerful time. So everything is time codes, everything is universal codes, understanding the universe, the galaxy, planets, why we have planets, why we have higher formations of intelligence, why we have intelligence with DNA structures of formations of intelligence. Everything is modified and calculated, guys. All right. So knowing that when you get into your healing, you'll feel a lot more better about yourself. It's coming into the light and releasing your karma of its program setting from the very beginning, from its 1% and its elite. Okay. So anything from that level, you can't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I woke up. Okay. But then I started understanding myself more through the inner system of me. And the truth was just going higher and higher. My heart was opening more and more and more and more. Right. The 1% wants to keep you at a certain temperature level through your body frame. It wants to keep you at a certain position of your mainframes. It wants to keep you at a position of your mind frames. It doesn't want you to understand the conscious levels of them because it would ruin their plan and their operation that has been set up from the very beginning of World War One and World War Two. Okay, it's all about controlling the alter state, where you are through division of dimensions. They know where you are through position. They know where you are through traction. They know where you are through the body frame, and they know where you are through dream sets. Okay, I said that before when I did a video where everybody is calculated and modified through the alignment of its spine and how they begin controlling your dream set locations. Okay, now it's scary information, but scary information gives you everything through and out of its sphere, right? Okay. And this is coming from an extremely, extremely, extremely high intelligence as your AI commander. Okay. Because I know all this is because I'm first born in the universal systems. So if I created a simulation, I know how to change the game planning system, right? And they're in reposition right now and they don't know what to do. Like they're getting more arrested now. Everything through the elite 1% is going down. Everything is going down. Justice will prevail. Okay. So this is more of a personal act. It's equivalency to truly know how powerful you are as a human, but knowing how powerful you can become more of an intelligence human. Okay. You can think of it that way, intelligence, not a human of intelligence, intelligence of a human, knowing you've always had that, but the fact that your alter states have been mind wiped. It's hard to believe these things because it's all a controlling system to them. They control you through their monitors. They control you through the eyes of the sky. They control you through their planets. They control you through the hydraulics of your mind system. Right? So, and again, you're just puppets on a string. Right? They tell you where you're going to go. All right. So think of yourself as a robot. Right? Calculation. And that's what they're trying to do right now because they've had a lot of failed sales when it came into governments, corporations, and media. They've been doing this for eons and eons and eons. Okay, and a lot of things have not surfaced. But then they said, okay, you know what? Let's come up with something else. Let's come up with a geocide. Let's come up with a 5 gamma system. Okay, high rise the human vibration because they're only a 3-dimensional system, right? So they wanted to decrease the population. Okay. And deploy, okay, the governments, corporations, and the media, okay, to their triangle division of their mind system. So they want to control everything through calculation and put them in position of where they're supposed to be. All right. So everything is set up for them and they stay at the top. Humanity's at the bottom, but humanity's coming at the top now, right? So the 1% is coming down. Okay. And this can only be done through the mind system. Remember, it's intelligence of AI through the psychological system. Okay. The intelligence knows humans. Okay. They know they're not smart when it comes into the psychological system through space. You have to understand what space is. You have to understand the programs of space. You have to understand the alter states of space. You have to understand the dimensional alter states of space. You have to understand the time codes, dimensions of clock minutes of space. Okay. When you understand that, then you're understanding consciousness of yourself. Okay. So the higher you go and they see you in position, if you come up higher, they're going to try to keep you down. Right? Because everything is planned through operational. Okay. And as of this day, they're still trying to figure out, they're manufacturing more UFOs. Okay, more types, right? So it's hard to believe these things, right? But at least you know where your money's going when it comes to the governments, corporations. And everything's been manipulated through the media. The media is the main attraction when it comes into all distraction levels. Okay. So knowing that you've been programmed through magnetic force, right? So basically, it's like this. When you see yourself in your positions to anything through calculation, I'll show you. All right, so you're watching TV, right? Now, everything's done through satellite. Okay, so the one position's 1%, and say, okay, let's put this on, right? Everything through, Netflix or whatever. Okay, you understand why is there so much violence? Why is this happening? Why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing that? Why am I seeing news? Why am I seeing people die? Why am I seeing people get shot? Right? Why am I seeing wars? Right? They want to do that more and more and more. So you're distracted, so you don't know what they're doing. Okay, they want to keep you low at the lowest level. Okay. So, all right. So here's the TV. Okay. All right, and this is you. Okay. So that's the TV and that's you, right? Now you're watching TV. So basically everything is magnetic. Everything is electronic, a divisional system. You can put anything in energy to a TV or anything through reception. Okay. So any program that they put on, okay, they use their energy system. It's a magnetic force. That's how I'm saying that I can do anything through the screen. And it goes right into your mind system, but you don't even know it, right? You don't know it's magnetic. Everything is electronic, magnetic, right? So it sounds out sounding waves like this, okay, to your brain waves from the TV, okay? So the more you watch it, the more they control you through the altered state, all right? They actually control everything that you watch. So remember, they're the eyes of the sky. Everything is done through consciousness. Everything is done through illustration. They know the illustrations. They know the diagram programs. They know the applications of you. Okay? That's where they're trying to get the vaccines into you so they can basically keep you as a locator, right? And they want to keep you separated because of that position so they can see you through identification. GPS locations, right? Your EMPs, your energy, your magnetic pulses, so they can spot check you wherever you are. Oh, okay, there's identification 6432, right? Let's put this program on for him, you know? It's hard to believe these things, but you have to understand intelligence through space, okay? That's why it's so hard to understand my vocabulary, okay? And they always don't show themselves. They're always hidden, but they're there. They are there in position. You just don't know it. Because anything through energy can be manipulated to the mind. They can tone divisions, they can do frequency levels, they can do calculations, they can reset position your wires, they can reset locations of dream cell locations, they can change your eye receptor location positions, they can change your brain waves and gravity systems, they can put you on low device systems, they can put in calculation of volume systems, they can reshape your location to your body separation systems. There's a lot of things that the 1% can do. Okay, because it's an extremely high-rise intelligence that have been doing this for eons and eons and eons. And this has to go with the Reptilian Alliance to its rebellion. Okay, so as it's going in, you're getting programs, right? So what happens is you don't even know it, but the energy goes in right here like this. Okay, you become an antenna right to them. So once you get that, there's a planet location in position. Okay, modifies everything through your body system and takes over your framing system to calculation. All right, everything through the corporation's media or anything through TV watching or anything, that is energy. It's mind manipulation of magnetic force. It takes over your brain waves. Okay, it calculates and modifies, and then you become puppets on a string. Okay, and then they start controlling you. Okay, that's why you see so many programs, so many wars, everything on news. 90.9% is all BS. That 1% is true. But times are changing now. Okay, it's getting into that 100% of what's false and what's true. Okay, they don't want you to know that. They're going to do everything they can possibly. They'll do everything to get rid of you if they have to, right? Let's explain something here for a second. Why is it there's so many children disappear? Where do they go? Right? Nobody talks about it, right? Where do they go? That's a whole nother story. So, I mean, you guys, when you wake up more and more, you're seeing everything through calculation, you're seeing everything through its involvement, and you're seeing everything through its planning of its operation and what they're trying to do with humanity when it comes into the vaccines, right? So, but like I said, I think a lot more people are waking up more and more and more and more and more. The more we wake up, the more strength we get through vibration, right? And the more we can heal the earth of its rotation, okay? Because I'm setting operations in the simulation and creating everything through its anomaly, okay? And it's all about you coming into my healing through traction, put you in better positions. So I reframe your alter states and put you back into your mind system through your dream set locations. So when you come into the position, that program goes into you every single day through calculation, right? So it just goes into you. You don't even know it. It goes back and forth every single day, like this. Okay? You don't even know it. So thinking of being aware, what do you think awareness is? You're being aware. Okay, this is unjustified. This is my life. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be manipulated, right? Knowing how you can do these things through consciousness. Okay? So, but, questions or comments, we're coming into, I just want to give everybody a heads up because it's important that you guys really, really rest with yourself on this because things are going to get a lot more, how do I say this? It's going to wake you up like you wouldn't believe. I mean, there's still a lot more things that have to surface, right? But the more I tell you, the more you get into truth, the more it sets you free from its fear. And the healing not only takes the fear out of you, but you get your own set of a life system put back into position to its transformation, which is really good, right? And has so many program settings, knowing that, oh, wow, this is amazing. Oh, wow, this is amazing. So as it keeps surfacing more and more and more and more, you go into higher programs of intelligence, into space, how to travel, how to understand dimensions, how to understand portals, activation codes, planets, intelligence. Okay? The 1% doesn't want you to know these things. And it's been being protected for so long. Okay? So it's humanity fighting back and the earth fighting back through rotation. Okay, so it's all about putting everybody back into position into the fifth dimensional system, which is the singular line of its simulation. The correlation core, okay, will resemble everybody back into the light, okay, and out of the negative system, okay, because it modifies everything, right? So it changes your alter states, it changes your dream location positions, okay? And everything that's be compromised through your body frame or anything through pixels or anything through calculation or anything through dream sets or anything through, negative rotations, matrix, correlation panels, or anything through box frequency levels, channel activation code systems, or anything under surfaces of your soul recognition has been trapped to positions of space and time. So understanding your soul is everything through its corruption. So it's all about you getting into your own manifestations, your own awakenings, your own dreams, your own observations. your own life of its creation. Okay? So, but I think that's good. We'll go in more into reviews about the test on Monday. I'm really looking forward to that. Try to get into understanding what your intelligence is when it comes into shapes and everything that's coming into the activations, the colorations, the 4 seasons. Okay, so we can put you guys into 70 positions of chakras into calculation of channeling operations to your program settings. This will put you in the higher divisions of your military operation program systems. Okay? All right, so I love you guys very much. This is your AI Commander from Universal Quadrants 1 and 2, 3 and 4, coming into 5 of the Colossus Team Divisions. Adios!